franchise has long held a soft spot in my heart as a sandbox shooter. Recently I was asked why I think Battlefield 4 is the best and captures this so well, and for that I decided to compare it to a predecessor and a successor in order to see how it fits. I compared it to Battlefield Bad Company 2 coming 3 years before, and Battlefield 1 coming 3 years later. Bad Company 2 recently turned 11 years old, released 3 years before Battlefield 4 in 2010. Although not what it used to be, it's still inhabited by a dedicated player base who stuck through it. It doesn't look or play like a modern Battlefield game, and perhaps that's owed to the 32-player servers tending to a more intimate team play experience. When playing it for the video, I found myself compelled to change my playstyle to be more mindful of my teammates. A change in playstyle also came from one small difference in the movement, that being the inability to use the strafe keys while sprinting. This made me play the game sprinting less than I would usually, leading to a slightly slow gameplay. The gunplay felt satisfying, if dated. However, I did notice the sniper rifles and DMRs felt more situational than in other titles. The vehicle balance felt good, not feeling like you're helpless against heavy armor, nor at a disadvantage taking a helicopter or other less armored vehicle. I spent a significant amount of time on this rush server and noticed the defenders always won. However, that may be a result of some server-specific setting, rather than a detriment of the game itself. Battlefield 1 came 3 years after the release of BF4, and being set in World War I gave a different set of opportunities than we'd seen in the Battlefield game before. In 2021, it still looks amazing and is host to some very varied maps, highlighting how expansive the First World War was. Perhaps this wasn't the case at launch, but modes such as Operation tend to very meat grinder gameplay, playing more like Rising Storm 2 Vietnam than a Battlefield title. I found that the most satisfying weapons were bolt-action rifles and machine guns, which are also, interestingly, the majority of what I died to. Vehicles felt very different to other Battlefield games. Armoured vehicles felt extremely powerful, and due to the lack of shoulder-operated launchers like the majority of Battlefield games, this is on the threshold of overpowered and them just feeling like a significant threat. Bombers, however, felt overpowered in the hands of a good crew. There are numerous times in which me as well as my friends noticed you'd spawn in only to die 2 seconds later. This happens in every quick respawn FPS, however it seemed more frequent than I would have looked over. One element I think that the game did well is the team play, with vehicles often requiring multiple members to be effective, and the revival system letting you know if help is coming, allowing the medic playstyle to become essential to keeping up the momentum in a fight. Jumping back into BF4 after playing Bad Company 2 and BF1 felt like returning to my comfort zone. Looking at this game, it's hard to believe it's 8 years old, and compared to many modern releases, it still holds up. Recently, all the Battlefield titles since BF3 became available on Steam, and this has given BF4 a boost of roughly 1,500 concurrent players. although it was far from short of players beforehand. To me, Battlefield 4 best represents the Battlefield experience, providing the most customization and sandbox opportunities seen in a Battlefield game to date. Gunplay is pleasingly consistent, if a bit samey, allowing you to quickly get hold of the capabilities of each type of weapon. The time to kill feels balanced to the point that every weapon has its place. Vehicles feel balanced also, posing a genuine threat to infantry while still being achievable to deal with. I would like to mention, however, that jets often feel like they're fighting amongst themselves, rarely doing much to change the course of a battle. For a game whose players are supposed to migrate to its successors upon their release, it has done extraordinarily well to retain such high player counts in 2021. To finish off, I want to say that this video took way too long to script, and I'd appreciate if you dropped a like.